Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Syed Fuad bin Syed Hashim. I'm actually an alumni of Mineral Resources Engineering program. And I'm currently the lecturer also in Mineral Resources Engineering program. My field of expertise is mineral processing. So before I joined as a lecturer, I'm actually an assistant metallurgist in Malaysian Smelting Corporation. As assistant metallurgist, I'm looking into the process of refined tin and everything. But currently I'm part of the teaching staff for Mineral Resources Engineering program in University Science Malaysia. Okay, Mineral Resources Engineering is actually a unique program being introduced back in 1985 to cater for a mining industry in Malaysia per se. But the program is not really focused in one particular field that we are talking about, just mining. The unique about Mineral Resources Engineering is they are covering three scopes of important in mining, which is geology, mining and processing. And continuation from there, we are also taking care of the subject of environmental control while doing the mining. So the key component in Mineral Resources Engineering is actually the mining part and the processing part, which we also being supported by the geology subject that covers the whole spectrum of Mineral Resources Engineering. That's the unique part about Mineral Resources Engineering program offered by University Science Malaysia. Okay, when we talk about minerals, people might refer that as a mineral water or something that not relates to what the subject matter of mineral is all about. But realizing or not, mineral is around us and we need minerals in our daily life. Starting from baby until we do construction, all need minerals. For example, while you are doing your diapers for babies, you might include fillers like limestone to make the diapers. You need talc for babies, that come from minerals. You want to do your construction of your house, you need bricks that come from minerals, sand and gravels. You want to make beams for your highway and everything, you need aggregate that come from quarry, either granite quarry or like limestone quarry. So these are the example of why minerals are important. In fact, during your plastic making, your rubber glove and everything, they need fillers. Why the fillers came from where? From the minerals, limestone, silica, you name it. Those are the things that being used in your daily life. Minerals in your toothpaste, in fact, they have minerals inside there. Therefore, the importance of mineral is very, very important in our daily life, and that's where we need to get the minerals from our earth that God given us. Okay, when we talk about Mineral Resources Engineering program, they are specific in nature. Okay, so these students that graduate from Mineral Resources Engineering program, they will end up in vast industry from mining, quarrying, and also into the downstream where they control the environment, what the effect of having the mining being done. So the importance of Mineral Resources Engineer is very clear. People might ask where our student will end up as they graduate from Mineral Resources Engineering program. Okay, we have been producing our student back in 1985 until now. They are all over sector, private sector, government sector, and also in fact they work overseas as well. So I'll take for example in mining per se, I mean they end up in most of mining industry in Malaysia like gold, iron ore and other types of mining that are available within Malaysia. You name it, you go to any mines in Malaysia, you ask them, they are graduate from USM, which is Mineral Resources Engineering. Also in quarries, we have more than 300 over quarries in Malaysia. And remember, most of these quarry required quarry engineer or mining engineer to work over there to get the good human capital to really look into the subject of quarry development and blasting and so on. So they need specialists of minerals background or mining background that we produce. So these are the students that will end up in most of the quarry as well. So upon that, our student also being trained to do some elective subjects that cover the oil and gas as well. So some of our students also end up in oil rig, for example, offshore, doing analysis of geophysics of the data where the oil is. So they're being trained in such a way as well. So that actually some subjects that being introduced to really enhance our student to be more flexible in entering the job market. But the most important thing is, with any other subject, you need to be excel in every subject, every courses that you take. For sure, you have a good personality, you will end up having good jobs and good career path. Alright, so I've already covered most of the importance about Mineral Resources Engineering program. You see the unique about the program. Therefore, come, join us, be part of us. Let's get thrilled and let's get motivated with this program, and we're here to teach you the rest. Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Syed Fuad bin Said Hashim. I'm actually an alumni of Mineral Resources Engineering program, and I'm currently the lecturer also in Mineral Resources Engineering program. My field of expertise is mineral processing. So before I joined as a lecturer, I'm actually an assistant metallurgist in Malaysian Smelting Corporation. As assistant metallurgist, I'm looking into the process of refined tin and everything. So, but currently I'm part of the teaching staff for Mineral Resources Engineering program in University Science Malaysia. Okay, Mineral Resources Engineering is actually a unique program being introduced back in 1985 to cater for a mining industry in Malaysia per se. So, but the program is not really focused in one particular field that we are talking about, just mining. The unique about Mineral Resources Engineering is they are covering three scopes of important in mining, which is geology, mining and processing. And continuation from there, we are also taking care of the subject of environmental control while doing the mining. So the key component in Mineral Resources Engineering is actually the mining part and the processing part, which we also being supported by the geology subject that covers the whole spectrum of Mineral Resources Engineering. That's the unique part about Mineral Resources Engineering program offered by University Science Malaysia. Okay, when we talk about minerals, people might refer that as a mineral water or something that not relates to what the subject matter of mineral is all about. But realizing or not, mineral is around us and we need minerals in our daily life. Starting from baby until we do construction, all need minerals. For example, while you are doing your diapers for babies, you might include fillers like limestone to make the diapers. You need talc for babies, that come from minerals. You want to do your construction of your house, you need bricks that come from minerals, sand and gravels. You want to make beams for your highway and everything, you need aggregate that come from quarry, either granite quarry or like limestone quarry. So these are the example of why minerals are important. In fact, during your plastic making, your rubber glove and everything, they need fillers. Why the fillers came from where? From the minerals, limestone, silica, you name it. Those are the things that being used in your daily life. Minerals in your toothpaste, in fact, they have minerals inside there. Therefore, the importance of mineral is very, very important in our daily life, and that's where we need to get the minerals from our earth that God given us. Okay, when we talk about mineral resources engineering program, they are specific in nature. Okay, so these students that graduate from mineral resources engineering program, they will end up in vast industry from mining, quarrying, and also into the downstream where they control the environment, what the effect of having the mining being done. So the importance of mineral resources engineer is very clear. People might ask where our student will end up as they graduate from mineral resources engineering program. Okay, we have been producing our student back in 1985 until now. They are all over sector, private sector, government sector, and also in fact they work overseas as well. So I'll take for example in mining per se, I mean they end up in most of mining industry in Malaysia like gold, iron ore, and other types of mining that are available within Malaysia. You name it, you go to any mines in Malaysia, you ask them, they are graduate from USM, which is Mineral Resources Engineering. Also in quarries, we have more than 300 over quarries in Malaysia. And remember, most of these quarry required quarry engineer or mining engineer to work over there to get the good human capital to really look into the subject of quarry development and blasting and so on. So they need specialists of minerals background or mining background that we produce. So these are the students that will end up in most of the quarry as well. So upon that, our student also being trained to do some elective subjects that cover the oil and gas as well. So some of our students also end up in oil rig, for example, offshore, doing analysis of geophysics of the data where the oil is. So they're being trained in such a way as well. So that actually some subjects that are being introduced to really enhance our student to be more flexible in entering the job market. But the most important thing is, with any other subject, you need to be excel in every subject, every courses that you take. For sure, you have a good personality, you will end up having good jobs and good career path. Alright, so I've already covered most of the importance about Mineral Resources Engineering program. You see the unique about the program. Therefore, come, join us, be part of us. Let's get thrilled and let's get motivated with this program, and we're here to teach you the rest. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. First of all, I would like to thank for all the viewers for their time. In fact, for your time, attending this webinar. Actually, this webinar is long overdue, but fortunately, we can make it fruitful for today so that we can have some sharing session about mining education in Malaysia. So please share as much as possible so that we can benefit from this webinar, so that we have some idea what is mining education is all about. So just to highlight one important things that motivate me to have this webinar is when we talk about mining education or mining industry, specifically in Malaysia, we need people that having the right skill to support the industry. So having such education is very important. When we talk about education, so I'm not talking about just at degree level. We are talking about from certificate, diploma, degree, and in fact higher degree. So we need people at various expertise, various skill to ensure we have a suitable skill set for the industry. Alright, so that's actually come about what I'm going to tell today. Alright, so a little bit about my background. I graduated from University Science Malaysia, and then I pursued my study in Australia, having my PhD at JKMRC. Currently, I'm a lecturer in University Science Malaysia, but before this, I worked at Malaysian Smelting Corporation as assistant metallurgist for 1 year before I've been offered a special scholarship to pursue my study for masters and also PhD. And my research interests are basically in mineral processing and also mining. So I have quite significant work that being done under these particular topics. Alright, so basically what I'm going to talk today is to give some overview of mining industry before we talk about the demand and the challenges of getting the right skills to our industry. Basically, you want to know what the things that happening around us in terms of mining. I'm very sure I have quite a vast audience that have different background. So for the sake of the knowledge, I would like to highlight also what are available resources within Malaysia, and how about this mining education or mining engineering per se in terms of profession that they will end up with. So what are the required skill that we embed in the curriculum that should be embedded if for those who are planning to come with a new program for mining related degrees, diploma, or in fact certificate or professional certificate for instance. So, and then I'm going to talk about the human capital providers in Malaysia currently, and what are the challenges being faced by all these all university, especially our Institute of Higher Learning, providing those skills to the people, and how we're going to move forward to ensure our program are sustainable and can provide the required skill to the industry. Alright, so as introduction, mineral industry has been known to contribute quite significantly in Malaysian economics, socially, and for industrial development. And as I said in my previous video that I highlighted earlier, we know the importance of all these minerals towards development of any countries. So we know that our minerals are non-renewable, so they have to be managed properly, sustainably, and responsibly. So to ensure these minerals are being used as good or as suitable as possible. So demand for this mineral has become more sophisticated and technological advances. This I have to highlight because of the low grades of minerals that we are having around the world. So we have to come up with new technology, new approaches in getting our resources out from the earth. So we have to make sure that we are alert with the technology, and of course, as I've been highlighted earlier, we have to have the right skill, the right people to be in the industry so that we have a sustainable job secure. And the basic component of any advanced and emerging technology, we need silica, we need limestone, and currently we are talking about rare earth minerals that are available around us that we want to exploit. But as I said, sustainably, responsibility, of course, to make sure that our industry have a good background in terms of developing the minerals around us. Alright, as an overview, I'm very sure that a representative from various ministry and departments that relates to minerals have come about with so many policies, enactment, laws and everything to ensure that the industry flourish. So there are so many policies like national minerals, national mineral policy, the second national mineral policy, plan transformasi industri mineral negara yang baru just recently being launched. That is a long term to ensure that we have a sustainable development of our minerals. So there are so many policies around us. So these have to make sure that we have a good background in terms of having exploit our minerals. So as being highlighted with various departments, for example Minerals and Geoscience department keep on highlighting there are quite a significant amount of minerals available within Malaysia that we can exploit, upgrade and do accordingly in terms of their new application and so on. That includes coal, tin, silica sand, clay, limestone, iron and in fact coal that we can be found in Sabah and Sarawak. So minerals such as silica, limestone are important not only as raw materials but also as essential element in manufacturing. That is the key part. People are using this mineral for fillers, for various type of application, and we know and we are getting more new application of these minerals. So that shows the demand of these minerals around the world. So but to ensure that we have to really utilize our resources within us, exploit them, and of course we want to make sure that our local deposit that are good enough to be really upgraded until we get the right product, that end product that we can sell at higher price. So somehow we have to really invest that much to make sure that we get the good margin of our products. So the current mineral trends research in Malaysia is actually we try to utilize the local resources available within us for various application, not just a simple application but also towards the end, higher end product that being used in electronics, in manufacturing and so on. I would like to take an example like for our aggregates in quarry. Previously, for the last 10 years, 15 years, people are only talk about size. They're concerned about the size of the aggregate that's coming in. But for the last few years, people are not talking about the shape that we produce and the technology involved in getting the right shape and size for our aggregates. And in fact, it goes until at fine size, which is your sand, manufactured sand. That's one example that we have to make sure that the technology and so on. So just to highlight again, we can divide our mineral resources into a few categories. For example, metallic ore that within us, for example, we have gold, iron, copper, tin and so on, that encourage state government with available resources around them to be used. To open more land. To make it simple for these people to have this land to be used for mining per se. And of course, that come with responsibility to ensure that this mine works within the limits that being guided with specific laws and policies. And of course, we have industrial minerals, that we have clay, we have rare earth minerals, we have kaolin, feldspar, silica sand, mica and so on, that is considered as industrial mineral that within us, that also actually we can upgrade this mineral for specific purposes. And of course, rock-based industry like our quarry, we have a quite significant amount of quarry within Malaysia, and that of course provide the aggregates for our construction industry that contribute quite significantly after we have embark into new era of development. We have quite a huge project coming in that requires these aggregates, sand to be used in such industry, especially construction. And of course, we have energy minerals like coals that being developed in Sarawak and also Sabah. Alright, basically this data that I gathered to date about 2020 and 2019, we have more than 350 active quarry that include granite quarry, limestone quarry, and limestone in Malaysia. That actively currently in Malaysia, and we have more than 160 mines. Okay, 160 mines that actively working within our country, and most of them are in Pahang, Perak, and Kelantan, which is quite actively involved in mining per se. And as I said, I mean that includes all those metallic and non-metallic mining per se. And of course, that secures more than 6,000 jobs at various levels within the industry itself. So that job covers professional like mining engineer, geologists, mining geologists, metallurgists, blasting engineer, and so on. And that, of course, the executive and also engineer level, but they also provide works like supervisors, operators, and general workers within the industry itself that being offered such job that support the industry. All right, so as I would like to highlight this per se regarding mining engineering professions that will be highlighted. Of course, I mean we know, I mean within development of any minerals, that when you discover a minerals, that requires the whole spectrum of geology, mining, processing, how they being marketed, the society, and the environment. So that actually integrated all these elements together. But I would like to highlight the issues regarding the skill that required within mining engineering. So as a profession, we requires the role or responsibility of this mining engineering, that they have to facilitate to recover the valuable minerals that in our earth crust. So the technology within the mining engineering itself ensure us or allow us to develop mines and get our minerals. And we know that mining is one of the oldest engineering professions which continue to grow in importance. In fact, if you look at around the world, okay, how small the country is, if they have natural resources, they would have at least one mining school within the country, just to ensure that they have enough supply or suitable supply of skilled workers to really work within this industry. So the continuing growth of industrialized nation and so on, so they require this mineral product at competitive price. Of course, I mean when you produce at any minerals, you have to make sure that you have enough margin and at competitive price. But to get that competitive price, you have to invest a little bit to ensure that your minerals are available within that price. Okay, so and then as I said earlier, so this encompasses as engineering or as a mining profession per se that relates into geology, mining, processing, and so on. And of course, when we talk about about mining engineering students, they will require all the skill necessary. This will be the core thing that a must have within a mining engineering curriculum. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just focusing on this mining per se. Of course, I appreciate the other fields like geology and other fields that support the industry. But what I'm focusing now is on the mining engineering per se. So that requires, of course, in mining engineering curriculum, these are the skills that they require, a must have, or like in academic world, we say that these are the core thing that a must have in any mining engineering curriculum. For example, rock mechanics, rock fragmentation, mine and plant design, ventilation if it's required underground, surveying, laws, safety, computing, and of course, mining methods and how they're being processed. So some people has perception. When they receive students from the universities, either they are local or overseas, the industries tend to have some perception that the students are not well equipped in terms of the knowledge per se. So, but any engineering or any mining curriculum, this a must have. And normally we are being accredited or being visited by so many accreditation body to ensure that we fulfill all the requirement of this content. And of course, we have all elective and optional papers to support that makes the graduates coming out from the universities have that soft skill and of course the hard skill itself together to make them a good graduate. And this to highlight about mining engineering curriculum, as I said, a must have. I highlighted rock mechanics and so on. And throughout the mining engineering curriculum, a constant effort is made to ensure the balance between theoretical and their engineering application. That's why the support from the industry to ensure that these students have enough exposure of the real situation in the industry to make sure that they really understand the whole process together before they can go to the market job. Okay, so that's need the support from the industry. So that's basically the curriculum itself, what actually required in the curriculum. Right, when we talk about the skill, I don't want to go one by one, but I just put in this slide, these are the skills that required to be embedded within the curriculum itself. Okay, so make sure that when we teach any subjects, the analytical skill, how they decide from each mining method that they have learned, to ensure that these are the skills that they require. Okay, this how to make sure that either they want to go with surface mining or open cast or in fact underground. So they have to make decision, but before they make decision, they have to analyze. So they have to have the analytical skill. So all those set of skill have to be there to ensure that they have the required thinking, the cognitive skill to go within the requirement of that set of skill that they require. So this is very important. So somehow whether the student realize it or not, they will go through all the subjects, all the required skill within the subjects, and within the subject, the lecturer or the facilitator will ensure that they are being trained to have this set of skill within the curriculum. So and of course, alerting the industrial revolution that happening around us, we have to make sure that we also equip the student with the current technology. Okay, what are the available technology to ensure that our mining operation are at par? And of course, that involve investments. That involve investment, but somehow that have to be included. That have to be included to ensure that we have the right people that having that set of skill, as I've been highlighted a few times. And in order to cope with the new challenges and future working environments, they have to make sure that the training profile of future engineers or mining related subjects in general, we have to change and adapt to the situation and the current technology available around us. Okay, there are so many available tools around you to facilitate in delivering the right knowledge, the right set of skills for our student, and of course the use of simulators, virtual tour, to get the right experience to the student when they're learning the mining related degrees. So these have to be there, but as I said, this require investment. Okay, this require investment, and I will to highlight that later. What are the future about getting this being done? All right, so the human capital, we know that human capital in mining industry is as important as other industry, although the market itself is not as huge as other like electrical and electronic industry, chemical engineering, and also mechanical engineering, but they have specific niche market that they will end up with. So from our university service, we are happy to see that all the graduates that at least come up from the University of Science Malaysia, they end up in the right industry. I can say more than 95% end up in the skill that they are being trained, which is mining, processing, or related companies into mining per se, either they are in government and so on. So that is quite happy, because we want these people to end up in the industry at least for the for a few years before they end up as become entrepreneur or other set of job markets that they want to venture into. So we know that mining in Malaysia can have small scale, big scale, so it depends on how many employees they would require. But what scare us, at least for us at University of Science Malaysia, when we go out and talk to the industry, they still doesn't realize that some of our university really producing mining engineers or mineral resources engineering or related degrees to mining, and they end up having generalized type of degree to be in the industry. So that really saddened the industry, whereas we are producing at least 40 to 30 people per batch to ensure that they enter the job market. Okay, so as I mentioned, so that requires different set skills, and we'll try to embed them within the curriculum. All right, so okay, now I did highlight during my first year, the first slide, that it covers the whole spectrum of education. Either they are in certificate, okay, and in certificate, and when we talk about mining, it's a technology based, okay, unless they are in mining management, and that's totally different altogether. So when we talk about mining and related, they are technology or science based. Either they are producing certificate level, diploma level, or degree, in fact, for undergraduate and postgraduate level, or in fact, I mean, some institution also offering professional certification and professional development. So I would like to highlight this. In Malaysia, currently there is no program that actually offering certificate in mining and mineral processing. That's what I know. Within Malaysia, there is none. So you can see that there is a gap over there. So, and at diploma level, they are also don't have any university or polytechnics or community college that offering at diploma level that relates into mining or mineral processing, at least none. So you can see the gap there. And of course we have degree that offers in a few universities. I'm going to talk that later. Okay, so and of course we have professional certificate that offers from for example, Malaysia Quarry Association, Institute of Quarrying Malaysia, that offers from time to time a short courses. At the end of the day, when you complete the whole module, you end up having certain certification. But to ensure that these skilled people having the right degree, having the right diploma or certificate that being endorsed by professional body, for example, Engineering Accreditation Council that covers degree for engineering. If you are looking into Engineering Technology Accreditation Council that covers the technology part, or if you don't want to go into both of them, you are actually bound also with Malaysian Qualification Agency, at least MQA. Okay, so all those have to be regulated within this body. So if you are thinking about offering such degree or certificate or diploma, you have to decide which bodies that you like to go through in terms of certifying the degree that you want to offer. Alright, so but having said that, with the current situation, okay, having situation like, for example, for the last 2 years, okay, for the last 2 years we are being bound with this COVID-19 things. People are start changing into having short courses, or in fact micro credential. So credentials mean you take certain modules, okay, within university or professional degrees, that when you bound them together, they can up having a professional certification that being endorsed by certified bodies. Okay, so that at least will enhance the knowledge of people enrolling for that course. It's not just a short-term courses they attend for 1 week and then they have just certificate, and they cannot use that certificate for future development of the degree. For example, if they require that degree to be that certificate to be used to apply for, maybe they are in the diploma level at different field, but with that certificate maybe they can enhance to apply for at degree level, or in fact at least for postgraduate level. People the ministry also start opening up more flexible education like Appel and so on, to make sure that you can use your experience for further development. And the university also taking this as a challenge and will try to produce a certain micro credential type of program so that the people can benefit it. At the moment, I think there are few that institution that come up with certification, but what I'm talking about is more reputable, that being endorsed by MQA at least, or HRDF types of program that people can benefit it, and they can use that for future development of their degree. Alright, so this is what I can gather, that university that offering mining related program. In fact, for the last few years, for the last, I think, I can't remember which years that we have a last symposium of human capital in mining and mineral that was hosted by certain university, but being anchored by Malaysian Chambers of Mines, that gather us, within this university as a consortium, to really discuss about the human capital producing that support the industry. So I gather here, like for example, the only university that offer engineering degree related to mining is University Science Malaysia. Okay, that covers from undergraduate level, postgraduate level in research. Whereas Universiti Kebangsaan, Universiti Malaya, and Universiti Malaysia Sabah, they offers Bachelor of Science in Geology at various level. So that covers the geological program, and they are matured program, especially within UKM and also UM. So they are having such a vast graduates that in geology, but they can end up in various geological spectrum. Either they can be in environment or in fact in petroleum, but of course, there are some of them end up in mining as well. Universiti Malaysia Kelantan offer geoscience, Bachelor of Applied Science at bachelor level, and also at MSc and PhD, of course by research. So Universiti Malaysia Kelantan have different application in terms of offering mining related program. And of course Universiti Malaysia Pahang, they offered MSc mining with mineral technology at master level, so they don't have any undergraduate offering, so they just offer at master by coursework. The only program in Malaysia that offer master by coursework. And of course Curtin University offering applied geology in Bachelor of Science and also Master of Science and PhD. So these are some of the university that I can highlight within this presentation. And of course, I mean, there are some institution that also offers some related that I cannot capture within this. So maybe they can also highlight that in the chat within the Facebook later. Alright, now I come up with the challenges. Okay, now this can be a bit tricky because when we talk about mining related degrees that being offered within Malaysia, they are quite small. Frankly speaking, when we talk, when we do our market survey at degree level, when we produce, at least for University Science Malaysia experience, we produce about 40, we can guarantee about 95% employability. So we are quite confident within that, and most importantly, they end up in the field. So we know that they are having job demand, but also they end up getting jobs. So that's, of course, I mean, there are a few of them that end up having other types of job, but that's another issue. But what we want to highlight is they end up at least in the right programs. So what are the challenges when we want to make sure that our program, okay, when we offer a program, I always highlight this, okay, we have to make sure that the program that we offered, one, they complement each other within Malaysia. I always use this word, complementing each other. That means once we know that the other university is offering that, so we don't compete, we complement them. What they don't have, we'll try to complement so that the industry really flourish. Because there are issues that I would like to highlight later on in my next point, why we need that complementing each other, complementing in terms of offering program, so that we don't compete each other. I would like to highlight that later on. Okay, so the first challenge that normally we as a education provider, I'm very sure, I mean that that also I think the same to other university. Okay, one, they are struggling with enrollment. Okay, this has been a big issue. Okay, we are getting less and less students who are choosing to be in the mining program. Okay, that relates to the issue because, okay, we cannot attract sufficient numbers of school leavers to enter mining engineering programs. Okay, and because it links to public perception. Okay, as what we always highlighted, the job that offers within mining is not that glamorous. I did highlight that, not glamorous and not famous compared to other types of engineering degree. And people will see that, oh, mining is just disruptive industry. And of course, this led to the perception that they have. And I'm taking this opportunity for having this webinar just to highlight the importance of having this degree to provide the right skill, to provide the right people to the industry. And we like to educate them. And of course, public perception you cannot change, but somehow we need to change. Especially the parents, the teachers, of course, the people who are actually advising the student when they select. Because not all students having good grades Not all of them are getting 4 flat. Otherwise, everybody will start to apply medicals, accountants, dentistry, pharmacy. Alright, so people are more into that. But that becomes saturated somehow. So, but we are offering a minimum requirement for students who are really interested to be in the program. Okay, and majority of students even don't know how the career opportunity will be. So that's why I'm highlighting this. They can up having so many vast jobs within the mining engineering degree itself. But the most important thing, you have to excel in any degree. Either you take any degree, you have to make sure that you excel and you meet the minimum requirement and getting good grades and getting the right skill, so that you can enter the job market and get jobs. Okay, and within the industry itself, so we have to consider studying mining engineering and the career opportunity that is not clear. So we like to highlight this. If you can see, there are few teasers that we're going to come up about highlighting the importance of having people to be in the program to ensure that we can supply the right people to the industry. Okay, and so most of them end up, not getting the right information and not interested to continue in mining engineering degrees. So that is many misconception and negative messages conveyed around when you walk there. This is how the industry destroy the environment and so on. As I said, in any industry we require minerals, but we have to make sure also have the right people so that the industry can do the job responsibly and sustainably, so that the resources are being exploited by considering the environment. And of course, as I said, policy, enactment, laws are there. They are being bound with that law. Supposedly the industry should flourish and having good reputation as a career, but somehow it doesn't work that way. So you still come up with negative perception and so on. And of course, that reflects to our industry itself. Okay, and of course, the current mining educational institution have finite restriction of physical teaching resources. And of course, as a matured university like UXM, we are well equipped. But some university are having limited laboratory. They don't have laboratory but offering mining courses, and to get a mining degree or mining related program, they have to invest huge equipments. They have to set up labs, they have to buy equipment so that the student have the skills. That's what I said earlier. You have to complement. Let's say you are offering, there are few universities already offering mining degree at degree level, at bachelor's degree. So you might end up offering, like for example, diploma, just to complement, so that you have a feeder to the university offering the mining degree. For example, the current university are offering engineering degree. The other one might end up having maybe engineering technology. You see? So those actually complement. But we're going to have another issue that will contribute to having difficulties setting up a good mining schools or mining program, which is limited numbers of teaching staff. We are experiencing that at the moment in University Science Malaysia. Okay, not mentioning that people are leaving, but we are having a tough time instead of the old people now start their retirement. So it ends up having quite a huge gap within the program itself. So as engineering degree, we have to have at least 8 active staff to offer engineering degree. So you can imagine that currently we are having 9. So we need people, but somehow the recruitment at the moment doesn't help us getting the right people to be in. So the support from the industry, the government bodies, to really push into policies, support towards the IHL, for example, or other polytechnics, to offer the degree that, or the diploma or certificate, so that we can really flourish. And of course, I mean, staff, teaching staff is very hard to get within Malaysia. The only university that offering bachelor degree in mining is University Science Malaysia. But the student end up in the industry, and they normally having good pay, having good jobs, enjoying themselves in the industry. At the end of the day, they didn't come back to pursue their studies. In fact, some of them are not interested anymore. So because they already having good jobs and having good pay and everything. So, but we don't have any more staff that coming back to pursue their study, and we can get them to be part of us. And of course, I mean, as a university, we have to have at least a PhD level to be as our staff. And of course, when you're teaching engineering, you have to make sure that they have bachelor degrees, at least in Bachelor of Engineering. So, and then to get a suitable mining or geoscience background that having engineering degree, it's not that easy within Malaysia. So it's very, very difficult, and we are having such a tough time to get replacement for our staff. Most of them are getting petroleum and non-mining related as to be enrolled at our university. So that in terms of staff. Just now we are having problem with the student that have not a good perception towards the program, but now we are having limited staff, but we have barely enough. That's why I said, when you decide, if you decide to offer a degree in mining per se, these are the things that you have to consider, whether you have staff or not. With the right background, I'm talking about having the right background. You cannot just put simply a chemical engineer that having a different background to teach mining methods. Definitely they can teach, but they don't have the right information to really teach and train the student that having a good experience to really give the right information to the students. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have the right people to teach the student. So that is another constraint that people have to consider. And of course, university, currently, if you are a research university like University Science Malaysia, University Malaya, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, University UPM, and so on, are increasingly emphasized in research instead of undergraduate teaching. And of course, I mean, research is part and parcel nowadays as a lecturer. You have to do teaching, you have to do research, you have to do consultation, and you have to provide community works to do to the society, and also you have to do community job, I mean, for the society. So quite vast things that you have to cover. But university, with having research intensive university, they more emphasize into research, and of course publication is one of the outputs. But having said that, throughout the world, people are having difficulties, especially within mining, with limitation in terms of the range of journal publication that they need to produce. So they're more into conferences to ensure that their research being taken straight away and being implemented in industry. And most of the university lecturer also, what they do is consultation work, which is a direct negotiation and direct consultation to solve any problems that occurs. So that actually more impactful in terms of tackling the issue. I would like to highlight again regarding teaching staff. This is not only in Malaysia. I'm taking example of University Science Malaysia. From my personal discussion with various universities around the world within our Society of Mining Professors, we are not the only one having these problems. Australia are having those problems. UK, which is they have Camborne School of Mine, also having limited staff within their faculties. Within Australia, the top university like Western Australian School of Mine, University of New South Wales, Queensland, and other universities that having reputable degree, they set up a consortium within the university to share resources in terms of teaching staff. So they have minimal, but this university having good strengths in mining, so they will provide quite similar subjects so that the other university can benefit it. Can see, that's what I meant by complementing. So of course we are trying to do that within Malaysia. We are in early discussion with Australia University so that we can also participate in terms of getting the right people, so that they can also participate in terms of teaching at university level. Of course, this have to be further discussed because of the accreditation issue, financial issue, how this benefited both within the countries. Okay, so that is another challenge that we have to face. And of course, this is not really an issue, but it's also a challenge because the industry somehow, most of the industry can actually, like University Science Malaysia, are having tremendous support. I mean, we are happy and we are thankful that most of the industry really support us in terms of getting our students for field trips, industrial placement for industrial attachment, and of course a short-term attachment within the industry itself. So they are very support in terms of this, especially within the private sector and also the public sector like government in mineral and geoscience department and so on. I'm thankful with that, but these have to be enhanced so that you can open up. I'm thinking about having maybe I'm taking one example in Australia and some countries in South Africa, where a university can attach to a what we call experimental mine, so that the student can actually benefit it from the mines, and they learn from the upstream until the end stream. Okay, lower stream that they produce until you produce gold, or for example tin, iron, and so on. So those are the things that we are looking into. Okay, so that we can benefit it from having such mine. Of course, it have to be a mutual thing. It have to be a mutual thing that the industry also gains something, and of course the university gains something. That can be worked out. So if we can have that, I'm very sure that that will support in terms of getting the right skill for the students before they enter the job market. And of course, for future mining education, I'm throwing this idea of having a more flexible curricula. When I'm talking about more flexible curricula, so that the industry that having people would like to further their studies. In fact, they already have a diploma, for example, at different field, but with the experience that they have, they can enroll into specific module that being offered by university or institute of higher learning. They can actually share this in terms of getting that module done. When they combine together, they will get maybe professional certificate in mining, for example. That have to be more flexible. Although that is a program like mineral resources engineering program, maybe we can module up a few so that people can take. This was already being done, but of course, I mean, we have to make sure that it have to be recognized, and recognition can be an important thing, so that whenever that you have your modules, or what we call a digital batch for that particular module, when it's being combined, it have to be being appreciated, and you can use them for further for further studies at different universities. So this is another things that we have to venture into as Institute of Higher Learning. We have to make sure that we are flexible enough, prepare for some things that the market or the job market or the industry that requires, maybe to train people at different situation nowadays. Of course, with nowadays that we are having, we are getting more what we call online things. Everything can be done online. Of course, that's theoretical, and if you require some practical job, they can always come for a few days and do the jobs done in the labs, and then you can go back. So it have to be done in such a way, in a structured manner, and I believe this is the way to go. So having more flexible curriculum and a wide range of strategy, for example, having placement where they end up getting the degrees or higher degrees, where the data that they came up within the industry itself that they can share with others. And of course, as I said, short courses, continuing education, more flexible curriculum is one of a way forward to go. And when you want to develop a curriculum, it's important to maintain, improve and develop more flexible curriculum so that they are aware and diverse in terms of getting the right technology. Of course, I mean, we have to make sure that these are being equipped with current technology. For example, in terms of characterization of minerals, there are more equipment that are available within the market itself that you can use. SRD, XRF, microscopically, how they can be good things that you can really segmentize your minerals and so on. So there are technologies within that. But how to expose that technology to the industry and to get the skilled workers having these experiences, of course, I mean by short courses and continuous professional development and so on. So you need to bring the variety of technology and non-technology skills so that they can get this industry as well. Alright, so and then of course, I mean at university, we often, I mean, invite ICAP, what we call Industry and Community Advisory Panel. So this is a must nowadays for any technology-based program. They should have industry advisory panel. So these are the opportunity for the industry to come about, giving important points to the university to enhance further. For example, if you have engagement within the industry that they say SPEC is a must for a student, whereas we already have that, maybe we can enhance further. Certain skill, for example, you say that communication skill in English must be there, although that we have at least 3 to 4 subjects before the student graduate to enhance the skill, but maybe we need more communication skill. We embed that in their degrees as well. So those are the input that people can give to us when they look into our curriculum, our maybe micro-credential program and so on. So they have to be alerted what are the right skill. We are getting more inputs from the industry commenting about our curriculum and so on. So every few years we will go through and improve them further in terms of content, in terms of subjects that can be developed further. So this is the contribution from the government agencies, from the private sector, the industry itself, mining, quarrying, or in fact environmental solution for mining. They can up, I mean, to the university highlighting, okay, these are the right skill or the required skill for mining nowadays. Okay, and the student also have to be ready. I mean, if let's say the industry is not flourishing at that moment, they can venture into new thing within the skill that they have already having at the university level. These are the set of skill. I get this from a literature. I mean, the future attributes I highlighted before. This is the skill that is required. These are the things that the future attributes for mining engineer or mining related degrees. In fact, they have to make sure that they alerted with all these requirements. So just imagine there are quite significant amount of attributes that we need to embed into our graduates to ensure they are ready for the job market, and of course having the right skill. That's what I said. I mean, when you decided to go or offer any education, like for example, is it a certificate level, diploma level, or in fact at degree or postgraduate, you have to consider having this right skill at various level. Don't repeat the same thing that already being highlighted at diploma level. We repeat the same thing at degree level, which is not supposed to happen. You can enhance further, maybe at diploma level more practical things, but at degree level they're more into cognitive, that you want to give the theoretical knowledge within the degree itself. Okay, so the thinking process must be there. Okay, at maybe for postgraduate level, you required certain skill, analytical skill that requires more advanced things after you get your degrees. So that have to be implemented. Then only the degree that you offered having such standard that people know that okay, they are having the correct skill at different level. That have to be clear. Alright, so as I said, I mean nowadays we are having so many flexibilities. We have online, we can give seminars online within your office. I mean, in fact, some of you may be using your handphones to listen to talks and also lectures. So there are so many flexible education nowadays that you can really benefit it. Web-based, other distance learning tools that already embed within university to ensure that you have more flexible time, more flexible education if you want to enhance further. Doesn't matter whether they are at degree level, whether they are at postgraduate level. So they're already there. Okay, so now internet-based education, as I mentioned earlier, micro-credential is coming up now. So USM also would like to venture into that. Just wait, we're going to offer very soon a few modules that available that you can complete within this module, that you can end up having certificate at certain degree level. We're going towards that. Pray for us so that we can get this thing done within these coming years. Okay, and of course, I mean, if you are about to introduce new courses, you have to make sure that, as I said, complementing and having at maybe higher level the management skill of mind. For example, having management and also financial management of mining and all those. So those can be done at that level, maybe certificate level, as I mentioned, professional certificate in mining, mineral processing, for example. When they completed a few modules within your time, you don't have to rush. Within 4 years, for example, you have all the modules done, and towards the end we can convert you with professional certificate in mining or mineral processing, for example. That about to be done. Right, so industry, academia, government cooperation, these have to be done. These have to be collaborated further. Although there are some have been within collaborative in terms of consultation works, and of course they have a memorandum of understanding and also agreement at certain level within the university or institute of higher learning, but they have to be enhanced further. Maybe contribution in terms of grants, in terms of equipment, in terms of technology know-how, in terms of people that within you that you like to share within the academia. People always come up about with academic, they just tell theories. So maybe now is the right time for you to help us at university to share your experiences, to share your technologies available within you, so that we can prepare the right skill, the right graduates that came out from Institute of Higher Learning. So that have to be there. We have our own responsibility The academics, the Institute of Higher Learning will provide the necessary. The industry prepare the right platform for the students, example, to get their experiences, indirect experiences in fact. Okay, and of course the government having the right funding, Mining have always been left out. We at the university, when we want to apply for grants, we have to camouflage to get suitable funding from the government, because mining have never been a key areas that being highlighted so that we can apply grants. And of course we can do our research or consultation based on certain limitation, but if the government can help us regarding prepare the right funding, either they are under MOSTI or other government agencies, that we can tap the funding or the contribution to prepare, the right research, the right technology within Malaysia, inbreed within Malaysia, so that we can benefit it. And of course, in Malaysia we have Pusat Penyelidikan Mineral Research Center that having quite significant staff that can help also. In terms of academics from the research center, the university, and also to the right agencies. Okay, and of course we know R&D. Not many people are willing to do R&D within Malaysia. Okay, they don't want to really invest into R&D, except for university. Of course, we do our job. We have to do R&D. We have to do Pusat Mineral Research Center. It's their job to produce R&D with new workings, new products, new technologies within the industry itself. So the collaboration or collaborative effect must be there. The industry, maybe they have problems, they would like to invest, let's say 100,000, okay, for that particular research to be done over 2 years. They can do that, but currently we are more into consultation basis rather than fundings that normally all other universities around the world are doing, where the industry pump in money, certain amount as a grant for the human capital development, but also the research to solve their problems. So those are the things that can be highlighted further or can be enhanced further in terms of this academia government cooperation within the industry itself. Previously, I think we did having a session explaining about public-private research network that being offered by the government, so that the industry contribute certain amount, the government match the amount or maybe more than the amount that contributed from the industry, so that you can come up with a research work within the university or within the research center. So that is an opportunity that the government prepare. That's one of the example. I'm very sure that there is a few more that coming up that you can benefit it. But the collaboration must be there. The cooperation with the industry, academic, and the government must be enhanced further. Alright, so I would like to also highlight the way forward that people normally benefited in terms of teaching and so on. So if you look at into the current technology that people are having, like virtual training, virtual information towards teaching, or at least highlighting what the industry is all about. So they have a virtual mind. In fact, they have a simulators that people are highlighting about. So I would like to share this for you all to really look into the industry that preparing such a work. So if you look at this that I take from Nevada Mining Web, so you can have that. You can see that you can actually browse through. Okay, you can browse through areas that you are
Mining has
interested.
played
Let's
an
say you want
important
to
role
go
in
with
Nevada's
blasting
founding,
overview.
culture,
You just
and
click,
economy.
and
But
then
today's mining is
you got
vastly
your
different
video
than that of
running,
the 1860s pioneer.
and then it explains
Today,
in
less
detail
than 1%
about how the blasting being done. Okay, so you have personnel that having that. So these are the type of things that need to be developed. Okay, I'm more passionate into this and having this to be done in the next coming years, because I can see the benefit that people can learn from this. And you see that, I mean, they actually highlighted the vocab that people normally use. What is bench? What are the things that it explains throughout, and it's a learning process. It's a learning process that people can have some ideas about what's happening. Let's say, for example, I see the surface mine at the bottom there.
So put on your...
Okay, so you can click further, and you can have a more zoom in at the area. Okay, so you can have a general view of the area, and again the video pop up, and you can see what are the personnel explaining about the operation itself. Okay, so it's huge. So if we can have this, I mean, at this pandemic session, not only during pandemic, but also in the near future, having teaching in different ways of having flexible curricula and so on. So you can see that how this can be a very important things that you can learn into. Okay, all right. So back to my slide. Okay, so having this is very important. So we're hoping that we can have some such virtual mind very soon. Having the right people to be involved in this particular work, and of course, you are welcome to participate in this virtual mind development or simulators. And if you are interested, you can always contact us for further discussion regarding developing this virtual mind and simulators. Alright, I come up with the final remarks for my presentation today. So as I said earlier, development of any mining engineering or mining, in fact mining related program, as I said, should complement the current available program offered by various universities, or in fact if you are offering a professional certificate or continuous professional development, it have to be complemented. Okay, and use available platform like nowadays HRDF also imposing so many trainers that can have training, and you can claim back your HRDF fund for training staff and so on. So complement the keyword. And of course, collective effort should be made to promote mining education as a promising career path. So we at the university are doing as much that we can do to really promote this program. We do our promotion, and in fact with limited access to the current graduates that having due to the pandemic. We are producing short videos, we're having talks like this to give them some idea about what are the future direction for mining education. It have vast promising, of course, I mean the market is not huge, but the career is promising. Is very specific, and it have a good career. Okay, and of course a good pay as well. I mean, if you go to overseas, of course, I mean our graduate work overseas as well, and they got pay in dollars and so on. So that's another issue. And of course, the Institute of Higher Learning should allow more flexible curricula. I think that's the way forward that the university have to venture into, having more micro credentials, so that the industry and the personnel within the industry don't have to leave their job to go for full time, but they can actually enroll into micro credential program and having their digital badge. And at the end of the day, when they complemented the whole modules, they can be converted with professional certificate or professional diploma and so on. So we are hoping more flexible curricula within the Institute of Higher Learning as well. And of course, as I mentioned previously, the government industry should also support not just preparing for our students to be placement for industrial training and of course consultation work, but also funding, not just in terms of money but also maybe equipment. At University Science Malaysia, we appreciate for the last few years there are a few contributors that came up to give us equipment, but of course, I mean, did have to be a win-win situation for the funders and also for the research at the university. The industry doesn't want to just put their machine there and not benefited from that. So it have to be worked out, and but the effort must be there, and this can be a type of collaboration that we can do within the industry itself. And of course, investment to a new technology for training staff. Okay, you have to be more flexible, not just having the curricula flexible, but also the way of you delivering, okay, delivering the skill, the knowledge. Of course, certain skill need to be hands-on, so how they can being complemented so that they have the right skill, but the theoretical can be other things that they can also venture into how this thing can be delivered. And of course, encourage more qualified people to join RHL as teaching staff, academician, to solve the issue of lacking of academician, not just in Malaysia but around the world. Around the world are having such problem as well. Not many people are into academics. Okay, I might be passionate in my teaching as academician in terms of mining education per se, but I need more people to be groomed to also have the same spirit of getting the right people as teaching staff in the university. Okay, so that's basically ends my mining education talk. I would like to also thank, because this talk was actually in collaboration with University Science Malaysia and also Institute of Mineral Engineering Malaysia as a collective effort. I'm very sure we're going to have more technical talk offered by Institute of Minerals Engineering Malaysia and also on collaboration with universities. So as an institution that passions towards mining, we also as Institute of Higher Learning, with collaboration with institutes such as Institute of Mineral Engineering, we would like to give more in terms of knowledge and so on. So wait for our next session, but it's more into technical workshops so that you can participate and of course learn from there. Alright, so before I end and before I gather some opinions that people give in the Facebook during our live session, I would like to end my talk with this video that being prepared by our graduates. They prepared this video. I would like to share them with you all. Alright, enjoy the video and hope you can benefit from this.
Earth, home sweet home. Have you ever wondered how vast the treasure that exists within the earth? It is beyond amazing on how much the earth keeps this treasure deep within itself. Tin, copper, and even gold are actually all originate from our sweet big home. Well, those are what we call as minerals. Speak about gold and stuff. Exactly, who are the ones that discovered the magnificent treasure of the earth? Now, that is the job for mineral resource engineers. Let's find out more about mineral resource engineering. I am Nur Azlina and I'm your virtual student assistant. Alright, mineral resource engineering focuses on areas of extraction and processing of the earth's mineral resource through the aspect of technical, environmental, and economic. Mineral resource engineering also prepares the engineer for a career in advanced mine design and planning, ground control, processing techniques, and drilling engineering. These are the fundamentals to extract the Earth's precious discovery. Wow! So, how to become a successful mineral resource engineer? Wow, this one look interesting. Let's click this one.
University Science Malaysia is the only university in Malaysia that offers this amazing course. Be proud because USM is one of the leading universities with excellence in mind. USM stands among the great names in Asia with the ranking of 34th and 142nd in the world according to the QS ranking in 2021. School of Material and Mineral Resource Engineering are located in a very strategic and conducive location in Penang. It is near the famous tri-border of three states, which is Nibong Tebal, Penang, Parit Buta, Perak, and Bandar Baharu, Kedah. Your study will take around 8 semesters, which is almost 4 years. For first year, you will learn about the foundational concepts such as physics, maths, coding, and drawing. In second year, you will learn about the introduction of mining, mineral processing, and mineralogy. In your third year, you will learn physical and chemical mineral processing, modeling and simulation, and also mineral economics. And in your final year study, you will learn on mining engineering peripheries, mine plan and design, and also internship. And the best about mineral resource engineering in USM is that you will get the opportunity to have industrial visits in every semester. So, what are you waiting for? Join us now and discover endless potential by being a successful mineral resource engineer. #MyResUSM. See you there. Thank you for watching.
Okay. All right, so I have a few questions that highlighted in the chat. First from Lutfi Hamdi. Thanks Lutfi for attending this. I appreciate it so much. At least we have some representative from the chambers. Alright, without much needed support from the government and coupled with pressure from environmental NGOs, what is my view on the future mineral related courses in Malaysia? Alright, so that's why as I said, I mean, we need that skill to be developed within Malaysia because the industry need them. Okay, so but of course, I mean, that's why I said, I mean, when we train these skilled people so that they can do the job properly and having the right attitudes and having complied with the necessary regulation that being put by Department of Environment or whatever bodies. So the pressure will always there. I mean, the environmental people, the NGOs and so on will always against any mining activity, but the role for us to show that the mining and this industry is a need. A mining industry is a need, but also we can do it properly. Okay, of course, I mean, what actually tarnish the industry itself is from the poor operators that not following the regulations. So this have to be changed. This have to be changed. So the industry somehow need to comply. Of course, I mean, this is not going to be an easy things. Somehow the regulation have to be there and to make sure that they follows. So these courses that we offered, not just from University of Science Malaysia but all other that related to mining engineering, they have to prepare for that the students that come out is well versed in terms of technology but also the laws, also the related EIA things, the related mining enactments and so on, so that the industry having the right people at the right industry and getting the right condition for the government bodies that regulated. So when you can show an example of having a good mining, like in Australia or in South Africa that we visited a few times, the industry really supports and they do a good proper mining, and mining can be a good or a high contributor to the economy. But the mining being done there so clear and so become a learning process, in fact, for the kids and also the secondary school. So that's what we want to bring. So getting the right people and the right skill to the industry is correct. So therefore we need to have these mineral related courses in Malaysia still. But bear in mind, the market is small. The market is small, so we have to really strategize to make sure that these people are having jobs. Okay, that's the key part, having jobs. We don't want them to go out and get other jobs, but having mineral degrees. Okay, that's I can reply to Lutfi. Second is, salam doctor, what is your opinion regarding on a geology student which also acting as a mining engineer? Okay, what is the quality difference between both? Okay, I did highlighted this regarding the difference between engineer and geologist. It's clear because engineers are bound to the act, and also geologists are bound into the acts from the board of geologists. So, but they have different set skills. Okay, as I said, they complement. So, but as a geologist, you cannot call them as engineer. That's very clear. Okay, that I have to highlight, because an engineer, they have to a post of Bachelor of Engineering, and they have to register with the board of engineer so that they can be called as engineer. That's very clear. Otherwise, you cannot hold a title of engineer. That's actually wrong. I know, I mean, there are industry are having called an engineer, but having Bachelor of Science, in fact, in not even geology. Okay, so, but they have different set skills. Geology covers certain set skills. As I mentioned, a mining engineer has different set skills that they have to follow. So these actually have to be addressed clearly. So you have to make sure that the industry, I mean, alert into this, because as far as I'm concerned, board of engineers never go and check any company. Okay, you are hiring Bachelor of Science and name them engineer. They have maybe, but not very vast. But we have to be alert into that. I mean, that is our responsibility to ensure that a Bachelor of Engineering can only work as engineer, whereas the rest can be named accordingly. And I said, I would like to highlight, they have different set skill and they are complementing each other. Okay, a geologist cannot do certain jobs that mining engineer can do, and mining engineer sometimes cannot do what the geologist can do. But the work complementing, and they have subsets. That means they are in between, that they can do both. Okay, so as I said, I mean, appreciate everybody's career, everybody jobs, but complement. The keyword is now is still complement. Okay, Assalam, saya lepasan SPM dan berumur 18 tahun. Okay, good. At least I have some teenagers that interested into this. Okay, saya faham kursus yang ini boleh mohon selepas asasi. Cuma saya nak tanya, apa pathway untuk mohon kursus ini supaya saya yang lepasan SPM. Okay, baik. Untuk lepasan SPM, simple. You got your either STPM or matriculation, or in fact, if you have a certain diploma, for example, a right field, you can apply. A minimum CGPA of 2.5, you can apply. But we have special requirement. At least you must have a physics, you have a chemistry. So those are the simple things. 2.5 above, having physics and chemistry, and of course mathematics, then you can apply for the program after your matriculation or first degree. After SPM, you have to go with either diploma or these three paths. Okay, so hope I answer your question. Assalamualaikum doctor, I'm currently studying at matriculation. I want to know, is there any high opportunity for students among women to further study in this field? Okay, let me answer you honestly. Okay, this current intake that we have only 4 male. The rest is female. So about 85% of our graduate, current graduate now is female. I would like to encourage for male to be in so that it balance out, because some industry requires male. Of course, we don't want to have any gender basis, but some industry requires, okay, for the sake of safety, they want male. But you don't know. Sometimes the graduate that came out from our program, for example, I would like to take a few names. If they are here listening, I appreciate them. I salute them. For example, like for example Fiona, Alvina, they are somehow their feminine somehow can really fade away when they are working. Okay, but of course outside they become more feminine, but I mean they can be different after they graduate because of the job requirement. And of course, I mean we don't limit in terms of female to be enrolled in this program. We encourage, as long as you meet the minimum requirement, please, I mean, share this and make sure that you put as a first choice. For sure you will get them accordingly. Alright, another one from Hafizuddin. Oh, this is our alumni. Assalamualaikum doctor. For current scope job, study scope, is there any collaboration with industry expert to involve with USM student? Is there any alternative step to enhance student interest in this course? Okay, I would like to answer the first part first. So the industry expert to involve in USM student, the way that normally the university required us to do is to have industrial experts to teach certain subject, certain portion, so that they can explain certain requirements. For example, blasting. I'm sure Hafizuddin is from the blasting, and then we invite people expert with the current technology in blasting to be in the course that we are teaching. So they explain, these are the technology, these are the type of blasting pattern that they use nowadays, these are the drone technologies that configure within blasting, for example. So those will be embedded in the teaching requirement. So yes, we engage our student with the industry in teaching. So please, I mean, for those who are out there that interest in terms of sharing your experiences in the curriculum, please contact us. Feel free. We'll prepare a slot for you for a sharing session with the student. We have no issue. The second part, is there any alternative step to enhance student in this course? For sure. I mean, we wish that we can go to every matriculation, every STPM college that offers that having our future candidates for our course, to explain to them about this course, the beauty about this course, the beauty about getting such a good opportunity for career path, not just in Malaysia but overseas. We have a few of our students end up working overseas and getting good pays. So we want to highlight those. So the least that we can do now is having such as like this webinar, and having such short video share with the matriculation, and then if we have opportunity, being given the opportunity, we'll go to the matriculation, of course STPM candidates, so that they have the right information. And of course we are hoping for our alumni as well to go and promoting further about the program, about the mining related, at least for the program. Okay, is there any more? There is no more. So I think we have covered quite significant, about more than about 2 hours that our session today. I really hope that you benefited this talk, And then I'm looking forward for any more comments that you can come up with to improve further our program, and then of course to really flourish our education, especially when it relates to mining related programs. So with that, I would like to thank your time and then your support for the program and for my talk today. With that, I would like to thank Assalamualaikum, stay safe, and of course, final wish from me, selamat menyambut Ramadan Al-Mubarak this coming Sunday, hopefully, insyaAllah. So all the best, Assalamualaikum, and thank you.